Welcome back to Nollywood Dish TV, your trusted home for the latest Nollywood stories, celebrity updates, emotional moments, and everything happening in the Nigerian entertainment industry. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us because today's story is not just about the death of a legendary actor. It is about legacy, purpose, humility, preparation, and the reality of life. The Nigerian entertainment industry has been thrown into mourning following the death of veteran actor and filmmaker Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, who passed away on Sunday, August 23, 2026, at the age of 66. His death was confirmed by his daughter, Kere Taiwo, after the family had spent days seeking urgent medical assistance for him. Reports from multiple Nigerian media outlets state that the veteran actor had been battling stage 4 cancer. For many people, the news was difficult to accept. This was a man whose face had become familiar to generations of Nigerians. A man who started his journey long before social media, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube became powerful platforms in entertainment. Ogogo's career reportedly began in 1981, and before acting became his full-time profession, he had trained as an automobile mechanic and worked with the Lagos State Water Corporation. He eventually left his government job in 1994 to concentrate fully on acting. Think about that journey for a moment. From learning a trade, to working a regular job, to performing on stage, to becoming one of the recognizable faces of Yoruba cinema. That is why his death is more than just the loss of another actor. It is the closing of a major chapter in Nigerian entertainment history. And as colleagues, fans, and government officials continue to mourn him, there are 10 powerful lessons that we can learn from the life and career of Ogogo. The first lesson is this: never despise your humble beginning. Ogogo did not become a legendary actor overnight. Before millions of people knew his name, he was simply Taiwo Hassan, a young man from Ilaro, Ogun State, trying to build a future for himself. He was born on October 31, 1959, and his journey was not a straight road to fame. He learned automobile mechanics and worked outside entertainment before eventually becoming fully committed to acting. This is something many young people today need to understand. Sometimes, we look at successful people and only see the destination. We see the big house. We see the expensive cars. We see the awards. We see the followers. We see the glamorous photographs. But we don't see the years when nobody was paying attention. Ogogo's story reminds us that your beginning does not determine your ending. You may be working a job today that is not your ultimate dream. You may be learning a skill. You may be struggling to establish your business. You may be creating content and getting only a few views. You may be auditioning repeatedly without getting the role you want. Do not conclude that your life is finished simply because you have not arrived yet. Ogogo's journey proves that greatness can take time. The second lesson is consistency can outlive fame. Ogogo spent more than 4 decades in the entertainment industry. His career stretched from the early 1980s into the modern era of Nigerian cinema. Just imagine how much the Nigerian film industry changed during that period. He witnessed the transition from stage performances to home videos, then to more sophisticated cinema productions and streaming platforms. Many entertainers who became popular years ago disappeared from public consciousness. But Ogogo remained relevant. He continued appearing in productions and eventually reached a younger generation through projects such as Anikulapo, where he played Alefin Ademuya. His performance earned him a nomination at the 2023 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. That is consistency. It teaches us something very important. Do not build your life around being popular for one season. Build yourself to remain valuable. Social media can make someone famous overnight, but remaining respected for decades requires something deeper. It requires discipline. It requires learning. It requires character. It requires adapting without completely losing yourself. And that is one of the reasons Ogogo's name will continue to mean something to many lovers of Yoruba cinema. The third lesson is your talent should serve something bigger than yourself. Ogogo was not simply known for appearing in movies. He was deeply associated with Yoruba storytelling and culture. Through his work, audiences saw traditional characters, family struggles, cultural values, social issues and stories rooted in Nigerian society. The Ogun State government described him as someone whose career helped preserve and promote Yoruba heritage, while the Lagos state government similarly called him a custodian of culture and a gifted storyteller. And this is powerful. Because fame by itself is temporary. But contribution can become a legacy. Ask yourself. What are you building? What are you contributing? What will remain after you are no longer physically present? For Ogogo, it was the body of work he left behind. That is why people who never personally met him can still watch his movies today and feel connected to his work. The fourth lesson is never stop learning and evolving. Some people believe that once they become successful, they no longer need to learn. But the entertainment industry changes constantly. The audience changes. Technology changes. Storytelling changes. The way movies are produced changes. Ogogo managed to remain part of the industry across several generations. His appearance in Anikulapo was particularly significant because it introduced his work to many younger viewers who may not have followed his earlier career closely. That teaches us that experience should not make you rigid. Instead, experience should make you wiser. If you are already successful, keep learning. If you are a content creator, keep improving. If you are an actor, keep studying your craft. If you are a business owner, keep understanding your market. Because the moment you believe you have nothing more to learn is often the moment your growth begins to slow down. The fifth lesson is take your health seriously. This part of Ogogo's story is particularly painful. According to reports, his daughters publicly revealed his serious health condition only days before his death and appealed for medical assistance. The family had been trying to find appropriate medical help as his condition deteriorated. His death is therefore a reminder that wealth, fame, and success cannot replace good health. Many people spend years building businesses and careers while ignoring their bodies. They work constantly. They sleep poorly. They ignore symptoms. They postpone medical checks. They tell themselves they will deal with their health later. But sometimes later does not come. This does not mean we should live in fear. It means we should become more responsible. Pay attention to your body. Seek professional medical advice when something is wrong. Do routine checks where appropriate. And never assume that because someone looks strong on social media, everything is automatically fine behind the scenes. Ogogo's final days remind us that life is fragile. The sixth lesson is your family matters. When the news of Ogogo's deteriorating condition became public, his daughters were among the people who desperately sought help for their father. And when his death was finally confirmed, his family was at the center of the heartbreaking moment. His daughter Kere Taiwo announced his death during an emotional live video. This should make us pause. Because sometimes we become so focused on strangers on social media that we forget the people sitting beside us. We fight over celebrities. We argue about relationships we do not personally know. We spend hours online. But our parents may need our attention. Our siblings may need encouragement. Our children may need our presence. Our loved ones may simply want us to call. Ogogo's story reminds us that when everything else disappears, family and genuine relationships become incredibly important. So if you have someone you love, do not wait for a funeral before you appreciate them. Call them. Visit them. Say thank you. Say I love you. Say the things you keep postponing. The seventh lesson is respect your elders and those who paved the way. Following Ogogo's death, several generations of Nollywood personalities paid tribute to him. Actors including Yinka Quadri, Jide Kosoko, Mr. Latin, Dele Ojo, Fatia Balogun and others were present during his burial in Iloro. The response shows the level of respect he commanded within the industry. And this is important for younger entertainers. You do not have to agree with every older person. But learn to appreciate those who came before you. Today's opportunities were built on yesterday's sacrifices. The industry that young actors enjoy today did not appear overnight. People worked through difficult conditions. They performed on stages. They traveled long distances. They worked with limited technology. They built audiences before social media could promote them instantly. Ogogo was part of that generation. So when the pioneers leave, their stories should not disappear with them. Young entertainers should study their journeys and understand how the industry developed. The eighth lesson is fame is temporary, but character and legacy can remain. This may be the biggest lesson of all. When someone dies, people stop talking about the number of followers they had. They stop talking about how many likes they received. They start talking about what the person meant to them. They remember the roles. They remember the kindness. They remember the lessons. They remember the impact. That is why Ogogo's death has generated such an emotional response. His career became part of people's memories. For more than 40 years, he entertained Nigerians and contributed to Yoruba cinema. So ask yourself, when people remember you years from now, what would they say? Would they say you only chased attention? Or would they say you made a difference? The ninth lesson is do not wait until someone dies before celebrating them. This is something society needs to learn. Too often, people receive their biggest praise after death. Suddenly everyone becomes a fan. Suddenly everyone remembers the person's greatness. Suddenly people begin sharing old photographs and videos. But why wait? If someone has helped you, thank them while they are alive. If someone inspired you, tell them. If an older colleague opened a door for you, acknowledge them. If your parents sacrificed for you, appreciate them. If a friend stood by you during a difficult season, tell them. Ogogo's passing should encourage us to celebrate living legends while they are still here. Because tomorrow is never guaranteed. And the 10th and perhaps most emotional lesson is leave a legacy that speaks when you are no longer here. Ogogo has now been laid to rest in his hometown of Eloro, Ogun State, according to Islamic rites. His burial was attended by family members, friends, residents, and several prominent figures from the Nigerian entertainment industry. But although his physical journey has ended, his work remains. His movies remain. His performances remain. The characters he played remain. The people he influenced remain. And the cultural contribution he made remains. Even Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu mourned Ogogo, describing him as an artist whose career helped shape Yoruba language theater and Nigerian cinema and whose work contributed to preserving Nigerian cultural heritage. That is what legacy looks like. It is not simply about having money. It is not simply about being famous. It is about leaving something behind that continues to have meaning. And perhaps that is the greatest message Ogogo's life leaves for all of us. Do not only live for today. Build something that can outlive you. As Nollywood continues to mourn Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, there is also a responsibility for the younger generation. They must preserve the stories. They must respect the pioneers. They must learn the discipline that built the industry. They must understand that success does not happen overnight. And they must remember that behind every famous name is a human being with a family, dreams, struggles and a story. Ogogo's story was not perfect because no human life is perfect. But his journey was long. His contribution was significant. His influence crossed generations. And his work became part of Nigerian popular culture. So today, Nollywood Dish TV joins millions of Nigerians and lovers of Yoruba cinema in remembering a man whose career spanned more than 4 decades. From the young man who trained as a mechanic, to the worker who balanced employment with his passion, to the stage performer, to the actor who became a household name, to the filmmaker and screenwriter, to the veteran whose work reached a new generation through Anikulapo. Ogogo's journey reminds us that greatness is built one step at a time. May his family find strength during this painful period, and may his memory continue to inspire those